So when I die, you can buy a brick in memory of me.
Well, I'm glad that I'm going to outlive you. That's wonderful. Welcome back to another episode of the ParkHopper Show with Paul and Jenna. That's Jenna and I'm Paul. And today we're talking EPCOT, and I've got nothing, so go.
Great. Thanks, Paul.
No, EPCOT is what? What does that stand for?
Oh, man. Why do you always ask me the hard questions?
I do have something then.
Do it.
The Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. I'll just leave now, and you can tell them all about it. It's the one with the golf ball.
Paul loves EPCOT.
Yeah, it's the one with the golf ball, if you don't know.
It's the future to the 80s.
Yes, it's 2015 from 1985. That's right. Yeah.
So, yes, EPCOT is the park with the big golf ball. That's what I tell everybody. And they're like, oh, yeah, I know that one. And just to recap, sorry. It goes back to our, in our other episode.
I'll just keep going.
Okay. So to recap, we've been doing an episode per park, just diving into each park and what they have to offer.
Hopping in each park.
We are hopping in the parks because we are the park hoppers.
Oh my gosh. What's happening today?
It's been a long weekend. Okay. So EPCOT. Oh, here come the children. Okay.
Very sleepy.
So it has the big golf ball, which has the entrance of EPCOT has recently been redesigned, and it's beautiful. For a few years, it had walls because there was so much construction going on, so that wasn't beautiful. But now you've got the pretty little triangle pyramids and stone and all of that in front of the ball.
What was there before?
I don't remember.
I've
just seen construction walls for so long.
Wasn't it the names of people
They had
who did
the names.
something?
They had bricks.
What were those names? Because I don't know what those.
You can pay to have a brick, and you can still do that in the new walls.
Where did those bricks go?
I think they're still using them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're still being used. But yeah, you could pay to have a brick, and you could do it in memory of somebody or things like that. So when I die, you can buy a brick in memory of me.
Well, I'm glad that I'm going to outlive you. That's wonderful. I will be giving the eulogy.
Oh, dear.
She loved Disney. She didn't like acronyms. She loved Star Wars. She hated Harry Potter.
Oh, not true.
I know. I'm just going to lie because why would I give you a eulogy? What is happening? Okay. Please, there's going to be a long list of people who've died if I'm next up, or people who declined. So. Anyways,
we
have really gone off the rails early today.
Okay, EPCOT. So there's a lot of different opinions about EPCOT. Mm-hmm. Our family loves EPCOT.
Yeah, it is very polarizing.
Do you all like it?
I do, but it was never. So I like it because I like the Disney of my childhood, and it was the second park, and it was like, let's go check out this. They've got Sega games. Wow, the future is here. You can play them all in one room.
Yeah.
Madness. But I remember the big ball when I was little, and Figment was a big part of my childhood at Disney.
Yes.
But it went through like a weird phase. My wife got to go for a teacher's conference down there, and they said, you get one free admission to the park of your choice. And she's a science teacher, and her colleagues said, we're going to EPCOT. And she said, I'm staying at the resort.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was weird thinking about that now. It was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
I think now she would have gone. But I feel like EPCOT it was amazing, and then it was outdated, and then it was in flux, and now it's looking to be like it's going to be cool.
It's getting revamped. Yeah. A lot of my guests will say, we're going to skip EPCOT this time because our kids are too little, and I don't think they'll appreciate it. I get that. My kids have loved it since they were babies. I mean, they love EPCOT. So, quick rundown on it. You've got the front of EPCOT, which is Future World. Is that what it's called? I think so.
I thought you were
like that.
This is why you're not expert. You're just enthusiast.
So
is it not the World of Tomorrow? Is that not what it's called? It's something.
Well, Tomorrowland is Magic Kingdom. I think it's Future World.
It's
World of Future.
It's gross. It makes me not happy for our future. There's really, it's always really disappointing, and the map doesn't make any sense.
Anyways,
I can't picture it in my head what it looks like. I can picture Universal, or I can picture Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom. Like you walk in and where to go, and Epcot, it's like, I don't know where anything.
Oh, Epcot's easy. Let me tell you all about it.
Well, that's all right. But
well, the front of it, you have rides on the right or left. So when you walk in the entrance in the front, you can go to the right, and you have the Finding Nemo ride, which is
Is that the right?
so fun. Yeah, when you walk into the ball,
I can't picture it.
you're going to go to the right, and that's where you have Nemo. There's an aquarium at Nemo. You have the Talk with Crush.
I know this. Is this the Seas? Is that still called that? Okay.
And yes,
The Living Seas.
well, okay, so that's another ride. Living with the Land.
Is that
is a
still
ride.
there? Is that the thing?
So it's a boat ride through like a greenhouse.
That's the one that we went on and we're like, it's a little creepy, to be honest. It's very much like if there was some kind of war, they're like, we're shutting it down.
I think Austin said that one
to the ball!
He was like, we're coming here if there's ever an apocalypse.
I was like, the next level, they're surely just guns, because they really do. It was cool in like a future movie. It was cool in like a Jurassic Park of food kind of way where you're going through and you're like, this is neat, but disconcerting.
Okay.
But it was cool. I definitely recommend it.
That's also where Figment is, over in that area. In the building with Living with the Land, you also have Soarin', which is a really fun ride.
Where's that in relation to the Seas? Because I'm making a map.
So the Seas, are you talking about Nemo with the Seas? Okay.
I'm making a map.
He's making a map.
Because I want to figure this out.
All right, so you have the ball. All right.
Well, don't. You just tell them, and I'll.
To the right, you're going to have your Nemo, with the aquarium and the where you talk with Crush, which is so fun. And then a little further down, you have the big building that has Soarin' inside of it.
That's on the right. See, I would have.
And you.
Soarin' is also amazing.
Soarin' is amazing, and it's around the world. It used to be just California.
Was that in Florida? It was only just California. Oh.
And Disneyland is still.
I've only ever been on Soarin' around the world, so.
Yeah, and it's neat.
It is.
You are hang gliding, and it takes your hang glider up, and then you have a big screen in front of you, and you're flying over different parts of the world.
It's like a circuit, or it's like a IMAX if you can't see the walls around it. You're right up at this. It's neat.
And you move, and
your feet dangle.
You see everybody's feet.
Yeah.
I like that. And the smells of Soarin'.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I thought you said their feet dangle, and the smells. Woo! Go early. You got to go there early. Before the feet start
the best part about Soarin', I think, is it's going to have a long line, but it's an easy line to stand in because it's an indoor wide hallway.
Yes.
So, you have room to move. You can sit down.
We're talking pre-COVID and post-COVID. We're not talking about right now. Because right now you got your room, you got your 6 feet.
Yes.
No matter where you go.
No matter where you go.
Usually, we stood in line a long time when we first started, when we were
But
dating.
it's inside, and that's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And you can, I think we talked about this before, how we play the heads-up game on our phone. Yeah. So it's an easy line to stand in, and they let a lot of people in at one time. Now, what do you like about the pre-show? What's that actor's name? I love him.
Of Soarin'?
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, what is his name? He was on. He is also the voice on the Emperor's New Groove. Oh, what is his name?
David Spade? No. The guy with the real deep voice.
Yeah, and he gets you on your flight, and he does like a whole, like you were getting on an airplane, a whole pre-flight.
Patrick Warburton.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's always fun to do too. And
I was real proud of myself.
he tells you to store your Mickey ears in the basket.
I don't recall any of this, but it's okay.
Okay, anyways.
Soarin's
That's
fun.
Soarin'.
All right.
That's one of the top rides there, obviously.
Yes.
And then you have you have Living with the Land in that building. You have Garden Grill, which is, what's that smirk for?
Epcot is my favorite for memories. Garden Grill doesn't. None of these restaurants, I'm like, oh, if you want food, you need to keep going.
I've never been to Garden
the
Grill.
lagoon.
But most people love Garden Grill. It has characters there, and they're kind of dressed in like farming outfits. And
wonderful.
The food is supposed to be like fresh, local, farm to table type food. I've never eaten there, but people love it.
There it is.
Because when we go to Epcot, we want to eat in the countries.
Right, that's
you know.
You gotta go to the World
which we'll
Showcase.
get to that. So that's to the right in the front. If you go to the ball and you go to the left and stay in the front, that's where you're going to hit Test Track.
Pretty fun.
It is fun. So Test Track is supposed to be very similar to the Cars ride in Disneyland.
Oh.
Cars ride's way better. They're supposed to be similar, but I don't think they're very.
I mean, I like Test Track. I
similar at
wouldn't
all.
stand in line an hour for it.
And it breaks down a lot.
Doesn't.
Yeah.
It's going so fast.
So, but Test Track is where you design a race car and it races and it tests the brakes and it tests the acceleration and all this stuff around a racetrack, and it is fun.
It's like riding with my wife. Thank you.
Does she like the brake?
I don't know.
You just throwing that manly comment
She's a
in.
bad driver.
Lovely.
Lovely.
You have Test Track. You have Mission Space. Have you ridden that?
I have
never
not ridden
it.
the scary one. Apparently, there's one that makes you throw up, and I wanted to. And my wife, that we talked about a minute ago, she does not like. She gets motion sickness.
Yeah, me too.
And
that's why I've never done it.
broads in the motion sickness. We went on the green. There's like green and
So
orange?
she did the green.
The green's
and
easy?
she did good. I think the green's easy.
Yeah, the green is fine, and it's fun enough. It's not. I wasn't excited because I wanted to go on the orange.
Now, I have a question. You might know. Mm-hmm. Is this the ride that used to be the body?
No.
Do you remember that?
Body Wars?
Yeah,
No,
and
that was inside the building.
It was like it injected you into a body.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
That was
so that wasn't that ride. For some reason, I thought it was the same ride. Just
now, no, that's more like Star Wars at Universal or at Disney Studios.
Hollywood. Mm-hmm.
It's
like Star Tours.
Like Star
Yeah.
Tours, and we didn't
Yeah.
even talk about that the last episode.
I know,
realized,
I
but
always forget about Star Tours.
you sit in the little thing, and it was like a screen, and it kind of like threw you through hemoglobin. Oh, look all inside. I'm in
White blood cells.
Oh, I'm in the vein.
Yes.
What was that building called? That was
I have no idea. Because
So
that was when I was young. I don't remember where that was.
I enjoyed the vintage Disney videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that building had that, and it had Ukrainian Command, where you're inside the mind of like a 12-year-old boy, which is nowhere you want to be.
I don't remember that.
And it was very strange. And even watching, I'm going, this is uncomfortable to be
Wow.
there. As a 12-year-old boy, you would not want to be there with your family. And then there was a thing. It was how babies were made. It was like the making of me or something like that. I was like, what are you thinking about Epcot? Yeah, it's gotten a lot better.
So that's all not there anymore.
Oh, it was thankfully all removed.
Okay, so back to Mission Space.
Mission Space, I think, is nothing to do with that. I don't know if it's in that same building. If that
I don't
building got torn
know.
down, I think it's Soarin' is where that was.
Probably, because we don't do Mission Space because, like I said, I get sick. But also,
Addie went on the green one and didn't have a problem. My
that's
child
good to
that
know.
was
Maybe we just need
5
to try
went
it.
and she was fine on the green. So
yeah, so you have 2 lines you can get in. One is a little rougher than the other one. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, get my map back out.
Test Track
Mission Space.
and Mission Space are on that side. I think that's it as far as rides before we get into the countries, except there's a ride in the ball. I love... What's it called?
I don't know. Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. Thank you. I'm having a brain
Isn't that
fog
the actual
today.
name of the ball? Spaceship Earth?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's not
So-
the big golf ball.
It's not the big golf ball, but it is Spaceship Earth, and it's a ride inside that takes you through...
Earth.
Well, it kind of takes you through like ancient history,
Oh, it's that thing, yeah.
which my kids love because they go to a classical school, so they learn about Greek and Roman history, and so they're all like, "Oh, there's Aphrodite and there's so-and-so. And I'm like, sure. So they enjoy that because they've learned about it. So
it is fun. Is that the one that Ellen took over for a while? There was one where she was there and there were dinosaurs. Man, it's been Epcot. Okay, Epcot is like moving.
Epcot has had a lot of stuff.
Real quick, the issue with the future from 1985 is that they didn't know, like late 90s, the future was going to go faster than it was profitable to update all the rides. So things.
That's a good way to put it.
It was like, oh, well, home computers. Oh, we've reached the pinnacle of humanity.
I like that part of the ride where they're like, and one day, every home will have a computer.
Oh man! So like. It really got to the point where the future is just every day. It's just something new, weird technology, and Disney's like, what do we even do with this? Just put a dinosaur here. We put Ellen over there. We've got fish coming in for some reason. Come on, Nemo. And people are like, what does that got to do with the future?
Okay, so and shops. That's really the front of Epcot.
Thematically, Epcot is a mess. I love it, but it's like the seas, and then it's like. Fish. And then it's like the land. Timon and Pumbaa over here for a while in the garden. And I mean, it's fun. I don't discount it, but it's one of them that I'm sure every day that people go in and go, oh.
Doesn't make sense.
Why did we do it this way? But
okay,
I recommend it once it gets, that the refurb sounds like it's going pretty well. It's going to be, I wouldn't miss it. Like we always go, so. And I always enjoy it. But it's weird.
The big part about Epcot is the countries. So we've done the front of the park now.
So that's the whole front.
That's the whole front. And then go.
Then the
lagoon. If you go past the lagoon, past the fountains, you're starting to get into the countries. So you can go either way.
Which way?
If you go to the left and pass up Test Track, then you're going to start getting into Mexico. I don't think Mexico's first. Is it?
It is.
Okay.
Pretty sure Mexico is on this side and Canada is on this side.
Yes.
Because it's when you leave America, those are the two ways you go. You go to Mexico or Canada. How about that?
Mind blown.
You're welcome.
I didn't know that.
Bomb. I mean, I might have just made that up, but it's true.
Okay, so...
I mean, I didn't make up that's where the countries are. I might have made up that's why.
Okay, so yeah, you can go either way. We always go to the left.
Yeah.
There's...
Miga, yeah. Mexico, we always go there first.
So the thing about the countries is you have a ton of food, okay? You can walk just around the perimeter of the countries and see them and kind of hear some of the music and maybe get a snack. But I always encourage my families to go into each country. So each country kind of has its own little courtyard and cove, and there's shops and quick service restaurants, full service restaurants, and little drink stands and things like that. The shops are a lot of fun because you can go in there and see what kind of things that country would sell, like what kind of toys they would have for the kids, what kind of outfits they would have.
I recommend Japan.
Why?
It's got the coolest shop.
Oh, really?
It's got all just...
Teacups? That's China.
It's got...
Oh, they do.
We have teacups here. They spin. Ours do in America. No, they have like fun little... Well, they have real gross snacks. Like they've got like the freeze-dried crabs and stuff like that you get, like chips. Oh, yeah, it's weird. But they have like just fun little snacks and like... All their toys are just, all of the stuff we get that's fun is from Asia. And, whenever you see movies of like Japan, you're like, oh, look how fun. Everything's bright colors and weird. And that's how that little store is. It's like, this is all amazing stuff. And if these people weren't with me, I'd buy it all and take it home with me, but it'll just go in the trash. So, well, it's fun.
On our last trip, we ate at the Hibachi Grill in Japan, and it was delicious. It was so good, and it was the first time the kids have done Hibachi Grill, and they loved it, and it was a lot of food. We had our own table with the grill, and Hibachi has a show to it normally, but when you're in Disney, it's even a better show, And he made a Mickey with the oil, and did the volcano pineapple or whatever it is. Have you seen that?
I was not there.
I mean, other hibachi girls.
I'm not a big hibachi grill person, but I'm aware of
it was so good.
Do they do it with onions or do they do it with the pineapple?
Onion. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's an onion. Yeah. And Julia, who's our steak connoisseur, said it's the best steak she's ever had.
Steak.
Steak.
I thought you said steak. Yes.
Oh my Lord.
That is a big dog that just threw itself.
All 8 pounds of her.
She's 8 pounds
She's trying
of
to
fury.
keep up with the kids. Okay, so can I tell you a story about the hibachi grill?
I wish you would.
Okay, so it's not a cheap meal, okay,
is
for
that
the
what
four
you're
of
going
us.
to tell me? Humble brag? Is that what we're
Well,
doing?
hold on. And so it was our first night, and it was, I think, like $150 after the tip.
Whoa. All right, I'm going to get the dog,
Okay.
and you can keep telling
and
the
so
story. I'm listening.
we scanned our band, we signed, we did all the stuff, and then the next day we go to use our band for some quick food, and they're like, your band's not working, but we'll go ahead and give it to you. It'd be like an ice cream or something, you know, just try to get it figured out, but here, go ahead and take this for now. And so I kept saying, I don't understand. It worked last night.
Mm-hmm.
It worked last night.
That's what they always say when it doesn't work.
And then we go to find out we were never charged for that meal.
Oh.
I know. So I talked to a guest service person, and I was like, our band is not working, and I could keep racking up free food, but I'm going to be honest and tell you that it's not working. And he was like, well, I said, it worked last night while we were at the Hibachi Grill. We spent this amount of money, whatever. And he said, so I looked up your account, and there's no record that you were ever at the Hibachi Grill last night.
And you were
So
like,
Austin was like,
never,
we can't ever go there again because they probably have our picture on the wall.
Like, do not take a check or a scan from these people.
So anyways, that was really good. The Mexico restaurant has the ride inside.
Mm-hmm. I've never been on it.
Oh, it's so fun.
The one thing I don't like about the
little Donald
Mexico
Duck ride.
the Three Caballeros,
Yes.
is that well, we had Mexican quick service when we were there before,
Yeah.
and it was good.
Mm-hmm.
The Mexican restaurant always looks great, except there's always a line for that dumb ride.
Yeah.
It's the Three Caballeros going through the boat. It's not like it's, you know, it's not soaring. It's like a fun little dark ride.
It's like Small World.
At the edge of the restaurant. It's weird. Yeah.
It's inside the restaurant. Yeah. So then you walk around. France has, you know, they have a little wine sampling place. They have pastries. Italy has a great restaurant.
Are you skipping out the big part of
I
what's
don't
coming
really
to
know
France?
the order of
that's what's not important.
the countries,
It's
but
we're American. We don't care. We're in the center. In the
and
middle.
then you could go to America and go turkey leg.
You can
Because
get
we're so classy.
a donut as big as your head and a double vodka lemonade, because that's what Papa gets when he goes.
I tell you what is good in Germany. They always have different beers.
Oh well.
And I like the taste of beer. So I think one time I got a grapefruit beer, which was good. And pretzels, big pretzels, and bratwurst.
Well, yes. The last time we went was the infamous child meltdown for the weekend. Or the week, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I was pushing her, and she finally went to sleep. And I got the donut as big as my head and the vodka lemonade, and they were like, well, would you like that a double? And I was like, what does that mean? And they were like, well, we'll put more in there. And I was like,
After that meltdown, yes.
let me have it. Give me what you got. Just put it in there. And nice.
So EPCOT is really good. I mean, like I said, we've always done it with our kids since they were little, but it is a great place for adults to go and for the evening.
Do you ever drink around the world?
I've never done that.
That's
I can't
good.
do that.
That would be bad news.
You're
just dragging yourself to Canada.
I can't do that. I mean, I can't do no more than 2 drinks.
Yeah.
And so I can't have one in every country, you know?
3 drink Jenna would be rough.
Oh, so now my sister and her husband just got back.
Woo! Those people can put it back, son.
They just got back, and so her mother-in-law went with them, and she kept the kids one night. I know.
Okay, easy.
And let them have a date night at EPCOT.
Oh,
and
nice.
it was so fun. They sent me pictures, and so they walked around, and they would share stuff, you know. They got fun little drinks or snacks or whatever and walking around. And so you have music in each country, live music, and just a lot going on. Raised hand, yes.
I did. Yes. My favorite part of each country is the people that work there are from those
Yes.
countries. And we think of how weird it would be for us to like travel to China and go work in America Town. It would be so... I was like, this is weird, right? That you're from Japan
and
when you're in...
unfortunately with COVID, a lot of those people went back home. But when I was there in December, there were a lot of people from the country still there. So, okay. So the big news for Epcot right now is they just announced the Food and Wine Festival.
This phone vibrating like
turn it
a
off.
very amateur night. That is the same password as Addie's tablet. That's real funny. The same finger lock.
Really?
Yeah.
It's tricky to do.
I set it up and I was like, oh, this will be easy to remember. What, are you checking this message now? Are you kidding me? Okay. So the big news about Epcot is Jenna would rather text on her phone.
Sorry, I was trying to mute it. Okay. So, Food and Wine Festival always happens in the fall, and it's a really big deal. Basically, you have all the food and drinks already, but they put more in the parks, special things just for that festival, and special merchandise for the festival. Well, they just announced it's actually going to start July 15th this year. So summer people, if you're going this summer, you can take part of the Food and Wine Festival. And you go around and you can get like a stamp book, and if you get 5 stamps, then you get a prize. I have no idea what the prize is, but like you would get a stamp for every snack or drink you got. And then you could...
Is that your fab drink? Seriously, that's your prize.
That's your prize.
As you can't hear the kids.
Here's a vomit bag. Also, big news.
Uh-oh.
What's happening October 1st, Paul?
That would be the anniversary of Walt Disney World opening.
Magic Kingdom. Yes. Walt Disney World, yes. So this fall, October 1st, is the 50th anniversary of Disney. Also...
of Walt Disney World.
Walt Disney World, thank you.
Goodness gracious, get these facts.
Also, October 1st, the new Ratatouille ride is opening.
Woo!
I'm really excited about that.
How long are you going to wait in line for it? Because you're going to be there.
I don't know. Well, we're booked to be there. We're still on the fence. We're booked to go for the weekend of the 50th. And I can't decide, because October 1st, you want to be in Magic Kingdom. I mean, our reservation is in Magic Kingdom that day.
No, you do not.
It's going to be crazy.
I'm going to go ahead and say this because you can't book it anyway. It's already sold out.
Yeah.
I won't be there. And I'm glad COVID's going on because there's nothing worse. Listen, Magic Kingdom, so fun. Magic Kingdom, full capacity.
Well, it won't be full capacity.
I know. It'll be COVID capacity, which is not bad.
Capacity.
That's what I'm saying. Thank goodness it's actually happening this year because can you imagine?
No, 100%.
Like a regular year would just,
So what happened, though, everybody booked their park reservation for Magic Kingdom for October 1st. Well, then they announced Remy's new ride, the Ratatouille ride opening, and that pulled a lot of people from Magic Kingdom to want to be there on the opening day for the ride. So still, though, the whole weekend is almost at capacity. We have our reservations for Magic Kingdom every day. I just did that just to secure it, and then I don't know. We'll probably try to hop over to Epcot one day and ride that, but I don't know. ParkHop.
Are we going to ever get this space restaurant? Because that's really what I want to do.
I don't know. I think so. I think I don't know, maybe 2021? It was supposed to open last year, of course.
That's this year.
It might.
What's the name of it? Space something. And is there like a date?
There's a number.
Could it be that year? It's like 2030 or something. While that it's actually they're waiting until then. The space restaurant's going to be real cool.
But it looks so fun. Yeah, you have the outer space all around.
Allegedly. We'll see when it comes what it's like. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited when Epcot gets the full thing done. There's supposed to be new stuff coming to the front, too, that they keep teasing, but...
I don't know. Yeah, the thing about Disney you have to be careful with is rumors. So many blogs and
podcasts and just clowns that don't know what they're talking about.
No, but they put out a lot of unofficial news for clickbait.
You're fine.
I have a question.
There's been so much barking and yelling going on. You're okay.
Did you fall for any clickbait on April Fool's Day for Disney? Because that's a big day.
I'm an adult. You do it.
These websites put out these articles with
when was April Fool's?
Obnoxious titles.
Was
it was last week, Thursday. And so they
didn't
want
do
you to
that.
click on it, and then it's something made up. But anyways, you do want to be careful with rumors with Disney because people take something and they run with it.
There's not going to be a real dinosaur at Animal Kingdom on October 1st. They promised me. I said I got $50 to help people for a brick.
Uh-oh, they're getting root beers, Kool-Aids. Oh, dear. Sorry about
What was in
that.
that can?
Root beer.
Oh, that's fine.
So
Yeah, there's always big talk of what's happening at Epcot, and it
I
may or
will
may not be
say,
true.
I try to be very careful with what news I put out.
You
I don't
should.
put anything out unless I get it straight from our Disney travel agent page.
Which is 99% accurate.
Running joke.
Hey! But anyway, Epcot, I've made it sound like it's not the best, but I love it. And we always go if we ever skip any, we never skip Epcot, even if it's strange.
Oh, that's good.
Even if they got rid of my daughter's favorite. We've talked about this in other shows, the drinks, the Cokes from the world.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry.
Man, my kids are weird in the things they like that they clanged to. Hit it with a
Clung.
pot and a pan. I don't know what the word is, but man, all the rides and fun things to do, and it was the gross, sticky soda room. Oh,
Yeah,
RIP.
that's not there. I'm sorry.
Poor Addie. But yes, it's a must go.
I will say, Epcot is a great place to see characters.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't think about that, but they have different characters in each country. And the lines are, well,
You
right
get to
now
see
you
Mary
can't,
Poppins,
but
and you all love Mary Poppins.
we do love Mary Poppins.
Did you know they're making another one, apparently?
Another new one?
Allegedly.
I don't
And this
know.
is maybe just fake news.
See,
but
you
I
clicked
heard-
on that clickbait.
Well, Addie, the other day, they were given the list of new Disney movies in the works, and it was Mary Poppins too. And
Interesting.
I'll go ahead and tell you that's not my favorite.
Like the characters from the new one?
I think so.
Same actors?
Some of the characters from the old one. I believe that would be what they would do. So I don't know.
I did like the second one. But anyways, yeah, you can
Either
see Mary
one.
Poppins over in the UK area.
What do you? Here, I'm going to get some more controversy going. What do you think about the Frozen ride versus Maelstrom?
Oh, we forgot about the Frozen ride. So in Norway, you have another big ride, which is the Frozen ride. And we love it. I never did the other one.
I've never been on either one of them. Didn't know it was
Oh,
there.
Frozen's fun.
Didn't know Maelstrom was there.
Oh, that's a fun ride. And it does have a picture. We love rides that have a picture. And it has a little bitty, like Pirates of the Caribbean drop. And it does go backwards at one point.
What?
I
Spoiler.
know. So that brings up a good point. What ride do you rope drop for Epcot?
Oh.
I tell people Frozen. It depends on your kids.
You know what? Oh, go ahead.
If you have older boys, I would do Test Track. If you've got young kids, I would do Frozen. I would not rope drop Soarin'.
Can I tell you that it makes me realize the rest of them, I can see it. I've never once thought about rope dropping Epcot in general.
Yeah.
It's more of the grown up. You go there and you have a leisurely
just kinda-
afternoon.
yeah.
Like if you park hop, people say Epcot in the afternoon
Yeah.
because there's better food.
Right.
And you go do something different in the morning.
Right.
But I like to go because of, I don't know, I like to go. It's neat to walk around, but it's not.
It's definitely
It's
a more
not-
relaxed park.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not the fast ride.
Right.
It's not the magic of the Magic Kingdom, and it's not the thrills of the other one. It's more
Right.
of, it's an experience, but it's very unique and strange. The monorail also goes through it around. Like
goes around, yeah.
It really gives to the future kind of vibe.
That's true. Yeah, seeing the monorail, which is down with COVID, unfortunately.
Oh, the monorail got COVID. It's real sad.
It's quarantined for 2
I was
weeks.
going to say that. Man, that goes all over the place. They have to keep it in one spot. And that's,
Also, there's a back way to get into Epcot.
Oh.
Did you not know this?
you get a ticket, and then you put a brick in the door, and it doesn't shut, and then your friends come in for free. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
No?
So to the right.
I did know this, by the way.
Okay,
Like
by
on that
Canada and the UK, there is.
It goes to a hotel.
Anything. There's a word for it.
Walkway. Sidewalk.
Passage, something.
Passage, I like that.
I don't know. Gateway, something.
How's that different than walkway?
Okay, so anyway.
It's a gate on a walkway.
There is, you can exit or enter the park there. And there's a boat that would take you to Hollywood Studios.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
And then when you exit from that area, you are going into the boardwalk.
Oh, I love the boardwalk.
Yeah. So the boardwalk's a lot of fun. You've got resorts there. You have food and music and stuff going on there. So you can leave Epcot. So if you stay at those resorts, you can walk over to Epcot.
Now, for my money, if I had lots of money, the Boardwalk Hotel would be where I would like to stay because I think that's super cool. That whole...
Yes. Well...
It's down, isn't it?
Not the Boardwalk. The Boardwalk Resort itself is great. It's not my favorite with families, with kids. It's more of an adult resort.
Again, if I had lots of money, my kids would... gone. Get them out.
But you've got Yacht Club and Beach Club there.
Okay.
Beach Club is Mark Henderson's favorite. Just dropping names.
Fun fact, Mark Henderson.
Sorry, Mark. They love the Beach Club. But the Beach Club has the best pool. They have the pool with the sand that's like being at the beach. Yeah. Also, Epcot is now on the gondolas. So if you're staying in a resort on the gondolas, you can take those to Epcot. Which is like, you know, the Riviera, the Caribbean Beach, Pop Century, Art of Animation. All of those are on the gondolas that can take you right over to Epcot. So that's kind of a fun way to travel too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a tip, an Epcot tip for the day? Sounds like no.
I think my tip would be, I really like how my sister and her husband did a date night. So if you do travel with family, with grandparents that might offer a night to keep the kids, I would definitely recommend mom and dad going into Epcot at night and just walking around the countries and enjoying the music. So yeah, I think that would make for just a fun little extra part of your trip. But definitely don't skip Epcot.
No, it's like I said, I didn't make it sound the best, but it's fun, and it's. I think you would regret skipping it. And yeah, I like it.
I have people that want to go to Epcot every night.
Oh, well,
they're park hoppers, and they will do some park during the day and end up at Epcot at night.
Sure, O'Malley's crowd. We don't.
Woo!
We don't.
Yes.
Look at that French man. Come on, French man, give me a drink. No. They're like, get back to the Americas, sir. See, I could work at any of these places. It's just
I am horrible with accents.
Well, did you hear that, French man?
Do you want an accent story? Or should we save that for another time?
Please.
So when we were in Disneyland, we walked by this restaurant called Tortilla Joe's. And I was like, Tortilla Joe's.
That's Hispanic, isn't it? Tortilla Joe's?
I also was like, I'm not getting pasta at Tortilla Joe's. It's not Italian.
No. Okay, so
like my accent was Italian, but it was a Mexican restaurant.
That's what I was saying.
It was horrible. I'm horrible with accents.
I think it's more of you don't know what country you're. It has different food.
I think I put everything with that Italian flair.
The flair, that's it. I like
right.
it. All right, well.
That's all I have for Epcot today, but I'm excited that Food and Wine Festival will start early, and Ratatouille's coming soon.
We don't have shorts at our house. We don't own shorts. Yes.
Yay, the kids are all here marching around.
They have the same
with
shoes
Kool-Aid.
on.
Oh, they do have the same shoes on.
Shoe twins. All right. Boy, this is real exciting if you're watching the video that's not going on the other side of the camera. So. All right, well, hey.
Fun talk about Epcot.
Yep, it sure was.
If you would like me to book and plan your next trip for free, click the link in the description below. Thank you and have a magical day.